Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, I'm finally doing a vlog of some sorts, huh? I meant to, I meant to kind of do something over the course of the last month, but you know, time gets away from you. Just how it happens. This is going to be pretty off the cuff. I don't think I'm gonna do a whole lot of edits. If you end up hearing a lot of outside noise, can't be helped. I live in a flight path, as you might know. I think I've mentioned that a few times, and the walls in this house tend to be pretty thin. But it's actually one of the few times recently where actually nobody's home. I'm the only person here, which is good. If there's any breaks, it's usually because the dogs will start barking because they're the only other inhabitants here right now. So yeah, as I mentioned a little while back, I have started working again, and it's a thing. It's not bad. I don't want to go too much into it since NDAs and all, and I don't really feel like it's necessary. They're kind of aware that I do stuff on the side, but I think maybe one or two people know, and they don't know where to look. I haven't been like, hey, go ahead and go over here and check this out. But I think just to be on the safe side, I'll just avoid talking about specifics. Clearly, job specifics, that's not necessary. Nobody needs to know those, and that is 100% covered under their NDA, and that'll get me in trouble. But anything else, certainly how I'm feeling about things, I think it's fine. So it's going okay. We're a month in now, which is crazy. I didn't realize that it had already been a month since I started that. And yeah, my feelings on it are fine. They're a little mixed. I'm personally right now. I'm over the past few days I've been in a really low spot, and we'll hopefully go over that a little bit. But I think as far as starting work and onboarding and doing everything from home, this is my first go around doing anything work from home, which it's gone as well I think as you can expect. Trying to start stuff up. I'm lacking some equipment, and it seemed like it was going to be sooner as opposed to later when I would get some of that. I think going into week 5 here, by the time this goes up, it'll be the start of week 5. I'll be able to get some of that extra equipment because there's aspects of the job I can't do without it. And they were hoping to get it a little bit earlier, but that clearly did not work out. So, sorry, if you see my thumb right there, at least a little bit, I was trying to push a notification out of the way. I forgot to set my phone to airplane mode. Whoops. But that's gone pretty well. The team's fine. There's a couple of people I used to work with at 2K that are there. So there's the element of so what's the word I'm looking for right now? I'm struggling for words. It's the element of familiarity. There we go. Familiarity. Because these are folks, even though I haven't worked with them in a number of years, they're people I know. And that makes it a little bit easier to integrate with the team a bit and, start working with people that I don't know. Although with at least a couple of them, they're people that have worked with either they've worked together for a little while now, or they worked at other places here in town. So they know each other from other employers. Certainly the X2K people. It's like, oh, okay. So we actually have, folks here that know each other. So it's nice in that aspect. And, everybody's been pretty friendly. Oh, thanks, Plane. They've been pretty friendly and helpful. So that's good. But I think my hangups on it are I feel like I don't really fit in. And that's not something new for me. I feel like I don't fit in most places. And I've been open about that. And if not on here, then in other places and to other people. But I feel like if I bring up something or I'm trying to add to a conversation, I feel like I kill it, and what I have to add doesn't really resonate with anybody, and it just kind of doesn't elicit a bad response. I'd say there's only been one point so far where someone had a response to something I said, and I don't believe they meant it as like incredibly snarky, but that's how it came across, and it kind of like shut me down for the rest of the day, where I was like, all right, I'm just not going to talk anymore. I'm just going to do my work and not worry about it. But sometimes it just feels like it doesn't click, and certainly we got a newer person 2 weeks ago, and it feels like they fit in like really, really well. And I've tried, and it just isn't there. You know, the job aspect, I'm not worried about doing the job. I would say it's not exactly the most thrilling or stimulating experience, but QA can kind of be like that. It's not something where you're like, oh man, if once you get into it and you know what to do, you can kind of autopilot yourself for the most part. But yeah, it's not something that if you want something that's relatively like super challenging or anything like that, I'm sure I could, but I'm kind of at a point where I don't want something that's super stimulating or challenging, if that makes any sense. A big reason for that is, you know, I'm a contractor. I'm under contract with a hiring company that's working with the company I'm working for. And I knew that going into it. It's a 1-year contract. And based on that, I'm just kind of like, well, yeah, I don't think I really want to like super move ahead or do anything that's maybe more than what my position and my pay dictates. I don't want to really take on a whole lot, just because in a year, I don't know if this job's going to be here in a year. I don't know if they're going to need us, or at least some of us. And if they convert people over to being full-time employees for this company, and they're no longer contractors, but they're going to be a part of that company, they may only have so many spots. And I've kind of been asked already. It's like, hey, what would you want to do in, you know, the near future? What would you want to check out? And I was pretty open with them when I said, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. And at the same time, I was open with them too. I was like, you know, this is a year deal, and realistically, it could go either way. And it's not like I don't want to not have work. I don't want to be out of work again in a year, but that's the possibility. And it kind of, you know, dictates stuff I'm looking forward to a year, to hopefully do a year from now. Stuff that I'll start planning anyways, whether or not I'm working. But yeah, it's just kind of like, I don't want to make any big plans, and I don't want to like try to get super integrated into doing a bunch of shit for this place if I'm not here from a year from now, because it's like that might help me in the long run, but it's going to be kind of a waste for you guys, and it feels like it's kind of a waste of time for me. And right now, it's like I get paid okay, but I don't get paid a lot. I don't get paid amazingly. I think it's like a $10 dip from what I was making as a temp last year, working through the other temp agency I was with, and thankfully not a part of anymore, because they're kind of assholes. I had a whole video. Maybe I can put something up at the top of the screen to link over to that one, because that was a fun experience. And they tried getting a hold of me recently to figure out what's going on with the place that I'm working for now. Like, they were trying to use me as a way of gathering information. I was like, I'm not going to give you guys anything. Sorry. And it's the first time I heard from like the recruiter that got me hired last year in 2019. It's like, it's the first time I heard from that guy in like a year. And I'm like, you're calling me to do investigative work for your company about who I'm working? I was like, I don't work through you guys anymore. Like, I don't owe you shit anymore. I did my time. You got my money. You got me my money, but you got money out of me. So, fuck those guys. So, yeah, it's like I don't get paid amazingly, and it's like, yeah, I just kind of want to do what I want to do, and I'm hoping, realistically, it looks like the January date that this company wants to go back to the office. They've already been really open about it, which is nice. They know January is probably not going to work out. We don't even have an office out here. They never even got one set up before everything shut down here in Nevada. So, yeah, it's just kind of whatever. I think I've gone far enough into that. I don't want to mention too much else, but I don't see the point, and I'm hoping I can, work from home this whole time. And then if this time next year, I'm not working anymore, it is what it is. But that's kind of the thing that's really bummed me out is, damn, how many fucking planes? There's a lot of planes today, man. I noticed, I went for a walk earlier and I noticed a bunch that were they were flying over. And that's the bad part. Yeah, I hate living under a flight path. It's the worst. And even through the walls, and with this, I'm recording with my phone, and the microphone on this will pick up fucking everything. I don't know why. I wish it wasn't. Somehow it's the strongest omnidirectional microphone in existence. But yeah, I don't see it. It kind of has me down just because I feel like, okay, this is just yet another job. And I was already with this job, I applied for it just kind of on a lark. And that's why I wasn't even excited when I got it. I was fucking just surprised that it even worked out, because I wasn't thinking about, things working out with it. And I was more like, fuck, how the hell am I going to be able to, reconfigure my schedule to do all the other stuff I do or like to do, and make it work around my work schedule. And I don't think it's quite working out the way I want it to. Like my workout schedule, I've had to kind of like, that's kind of still in flux, and I'm trying to make that work. I was trying to do it in the mornings, and I'm like, it's too hard to do in the mornings. It doesn't feel like I have enough time, and I don't like being rushed on it. So I've started trying to do it in the afternoons, but I'm getting that set up. Trying to stream, but that's been really weird because my network connection here at the house has been iffy. So it'll drop, and I'll have to disconnect and reconnect, and it interrupts the show, and I fucking hate that. It's just it's made the stuff I want to do, and it's been hard to record too, just even sit down like this. So I feel like I don't have any time, or I can't record at the right time of day, or there's other shit going on because I'm home all the time. And there's usually one or two other people that are here, and they're always doing something. It's tough, and it's made it really frustrating. Like this last Friday, I just was out of it, and it just felt like nothing was going right. I didn't feel going back to not fitting in at work, or feeling like I'm not really fitting in as much as I want to try, and I'm not trying to to sabotage myself. It kind of shut me down, and I just didn't talk to people all day. It was not a great day. And thankfully, my buddy Chris came over that night, and we hung out over here out in the porch, and, set up a projector, and, watched some movies and ate some food. And that was something I was really glad to have. But trying to stream last week and do anything else, it was just a constant downer, and it just beat me up. And I'm not quite out of that yet. And it makes, and last night I was just like, what am I doing? What am I even doing? I'm not going to leave my job at any point. I'm going to see it all the way through. So I'm not worried about that, but it's just kind of like, well, this is like great. There's going to be yet another instance where I'm doing something where I don't particularly want to do it. It's just there to make money. And I don't know where that's going to lead. And it's not very stimulating work. And everything else I either want to do but can't, like record like this. And I got my first Boxu order. I got to do a video on that, but I got to have the time and the setup to do it, and hopefully enough quiet time. Damn, I can't tell. I'm wondering where most of these people are flying, honestly. Fucking A, where are you going? I asked that as I know that one of my roommates went to Dallas. Actually, two of them went to Dallas this 2 weeks ago almost. And I'm like, why are you going to Dallas? Why are you even getting on a plane? Where are you going? What are you going to do there? But yeah, it's trying to get this up, and then with the stream not working out, and with the stream also just not generating a whole lot of people. I'm not getting a lot of folks in, and I had hoped with connecting with one of my old coworkers that streams, that has a pretty decent sized community, and has a number of folks that also they do stuff with. I was just kind of hoping, I'm like, it'd be great if this actually kind of worked out in my favor a little bit, where I can have people go over there, because I know they ended up throwing this person a follow, and just to be able to kind of grow the audience a little bit. And honestly, it hasn't done a whole lot. It seemed like it for like a week or two, and then it just kind of disappeared. And I'm like, yeah, I don't see those. Even those people don't even come in on the stream. So I don't know. I'm in a spot right now where the stuff I want to do, either it's too hard to do, or too hard to find the right amount of time and the ability to set up properly and be able to record without a whole lot of distractions. It's hard to find that. Or if it's a stream, I can set up and get that done easily, but then there's a lot of other things there's things that get in the way that, if my internet connection can't hold up, that's kind of it. It's done. It's a done deal. And then I don't want to do it at that point. So there's that. And then with it just kind of stagnating, I've been doing it for, 2 years now. I've been an affiliate for almost 2 years. It's grown a little bit, but honestly, it feels like I'm kind of spinning my wheels, and it makes it hard to do stuff when it feels like you're wasting your time, if you get what I mean. It's one thing if you like to do it. Sometimes it's like I still like to do it. But there's other times where I'm just like, this just feels like an absolute slog because it doesn't feel like I'm getting anything done, and wasting my own time sucks. And I don't have, it was one thing when I had all the time to myself, and now it's like, no, 40 hours of my week are eaten up. I'm using what little free time I have on these days to do this. And if it's not really working out and it's not really doing anything for me, then what the fuck's the point? So all around it just right now, and I feel like I've slacked a little bit on my workouts because I just this past Friday I wasn't really able to do it just because I knew my afternoon was going to be booked up. So I tried to do what I could in the morning. But then there's other days, it's like it's hard to get the motivation to do it. And then, I've had like shoulder issues recently and whatnot. All around, it's not been fun. And I like the fact that I got money coming in again, but at the same time, I feel like everything else has just been kind of thrown into flux, and it makes it hard to do. So, all right, I have rambled for about 17 minutes. This wasn't as much of a downer as I was anticipating. I felt like it was going to be worse. But yeah, I'm going to keep trying to do what I can, I'll survive. And part of the work thing and not fitting in, I think a lot of it is, especially how I take certain things, that's just on me. I don't lie about that. It's my perception, and it could be wrong. And how I feel about things may not be the truth. I'll get through it. It's not the first time. I just also know I'm like, yeah. It's like when I worked with my temp job last year, it was a case of I don't miss some of this shit. I don't miss the office environment or anything like that. It's a nice part at the very least. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to drive. Well, I don't drive anyways, but I don't have to take a bus. It's like my shift starts at 9 and I'm at home, and when it ends at 5:30, I'm at home. So I don't have to worry about that. I just need some of the missing equipment. That way I can have like a really clear line between work and home. I shouldn't have done. Anyways, all right, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. So if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll try to keep you guys filled in and do stuff like this. Hopefully more days. Well, there's always going to be planes, but hopefully more days where there's just going to be less people around, and it's going to be easier. And plus I got to stop anyways. My right wrist already hurts because I've been holding the phone like freehand the whole time, which is why there's going to be a lot of micro shakes. But yeah, thank you again for watching. I appreciate it. I'll try to have some actual like fun content here pretty soon. I got my Bulksu that I can try, and I got a couple other things I can try out as well. But keep on the lookout for those. Keep on the lookout for the Twitch clips and everything. Hopefully we'll see you in the Twitch chat sooner or later. But until next time, thanks again for watching. We'll see you later. Be safe out there. Be well.